Hello YouTube, my name is Nero and today some more Call of Duty Black Ops 3 playing the beta, and what we're going to be doing with this video is actually discussing different ideas that I have for the Call of Duty franchise. Now these ideas are things I would like for them to implement into the game to make it so Call of Duty is a bit more fun, to make it so the lifespan of the game can last a little bit longer, kind of keeping people playing the game as compared to playing it a lot for the first few months that the game is out, and then after that kind of dwindling away and playing some other things. Basically things that could increase the longevity of the Call of Duty life cycle. Some of these ideas I've discussed in previous videos. In fact, a couple of these I discussed in yesterday's Dear Nero, as well as some of these ideas are actually borrowed from other games that I like to play, but overall I think these are really cool ideas I would like to see implemented into the Call of Duty franchise, and I would definitely be interested to hear your guys' opinions on these in the comment section below, so be sure to check out the entirety of the video and let me know your opinion on all these different ideas. The first idea I have for the Call of Duty franchise is going to be the idea of vintage weapons being added into Black Ops 3. Now this is actually something I discussed in yesterday's Dear Nero. I actually came up with it in yesterday's Dear Nero, and I kind of just rolled with it, and then I thought to myself afterwards, like, that's actually kind of a cool idea. So I thought about it a little bit more, and I want to explain it a bit better here in this video. So the idea is you take vintage weapons from Call of Duty's history, and we're basically going to be focusing on Treyarch here with Black Ops 3 because that's going to be the next Call of Duty game that's coming out. But picture the same idea if you wanted to put it in the context of Infinity Ward Sledgehammer as well. What if they were able to unlock some classic weapons from Treyarch's past in Black Ops 3 by completing challenges? Now the idea I came up with was perhaps if you were to get 1,500 kills, 1,500 kills with a submachine gun or with submachine guns in general over your prestiges, like this is not something that gets reset after every single prestige. If you were to get 1,500 kills with submachine guns, you would unlock the Thompson submachine gun from Call of Duty World at War. It's a very classic submachine gun in the Call of Duty franchise. It is one of the most beloved weapons of that game. And I think it'd be cool if they were to add it into Black Ops 3 and put it behind a challenge. Now they can even go further with this and maybe make it so at 1,500 kills with submachine guns you unlock the Thompson. At 2,500 kills with submachine guns you unlock the MP40. At 3,500 kills with submachine guns, which kind of is getting ridiculous at this point, you unlock like the AK-74U or something like that. I think that would be pretty interesting. You could do that with all of the different weapon tiers. For example, if you were to get 1,500 kills with assault rifles in Black Ops 3, you unlock the STG-44. If you were to get 2,500 kills, you unlock the FAMAS from Black Ops 1. Same thing goes for snipers. You can unlock like the Springfield or the L96A1 or the Kar98K, or in terms of shotguns, you can unlock the double barrel or the Olympia or the Spaz 12 or like the MG42 or the Browning for the light machine guns. Like, I think this would be a really interesting idea. It's basically the idea that they're going to get you to continue to play the game aside from just the first few months of the game actually being out. That's one of the things that a lot of video games struggle to do, is they get people to buy their game initially and people play the crap out of their game for like the first month or the first few weeks that's out, but then after that it kind of just gets put into a giant pile of games that they have, and then they start playing them sparingly along with all the other games that they actually have. The idea is if you have challenges like this, stuff to continue to work for besides just leveling up and just prestiging, which has always been the idea in the Call of Duty franchise. The thing that keeps us playing the Call of Duty multiplayer is basically the love of the multiplayer, because the progression in Call of Duty is the same every single prestige. You're basically looking for a new badge every time you prestige. You're getting a brand new badge and that's it. And then you have the fun, of course, of just leveling up. This is going to give us something else to work for while we're actually doing our prestiges, which I think would be a pretty cool thing overall, and as well as it would add in a bunch of new weapons into the game, which I think would be pretty fun. Now keep in mind, these aren't going to be quote-unquote new weapons because they're basically going to be throwback weapons, and the reason I chose throwback weapons was I think it'd be a little bit easier for the developers to actually add in this kind of stuff as compared to making an entire new weapon, making entire new skins and stuff like that. But if they were to go along with this idea, instead of making it vintage weapons and just make it new weapons, like make up brand new weapons for this, that'd be cool as well. Just, I like the idea of having new weapons be able to be earned by completing challenges, basically time challenges, like you get 1,500 kills and you unlock a brand new weapon for that weapon category. I think that would be a really cool idea. The second idea I have for the Call of Duty franchise is a relatively simple one. It's one I really think that is going to be featured in Black Ops 3, but it's the idea of specialist skins. Now, of course, we have these different specialists. We were able to play around with them during the beta, but I think it would be interesting if we were able to customize our specialists to kind of make them feel unique, because as we were playing the beta and I was running around with Reaper, which was by far my favorite specialist, I realized there was a bunch of other Reapers in the game, and it didn't really feel as unique. You kind of like, oh, wow, I'm a Reaper, he's a Reaper, you're a Reaper, we're overall Reaper. You know, I think it would be pretty cool if we were actually able to customize our specialists in one way or another. Now, I'm basically going to be borrowing some ideas from a game that I've recently started playing, but I've already fallen in love with, and you can tell by my level, which is going to be Heroes of the Storm. So Heroes of the Storm is by Blizzard. It's essentially a MOBA game similar to League of Legends, similar to Dota, similar to Smite in some respects, where basically it's a MOBA, right? If you guys know what any of those games are like, this is exactly the same idea, except it's with Blizzard characters. And what they do here is you basically have your skins, and the more you play with that particular hero, you unlock different color variations of it. And if you actually get up to level 10, you can unlock the Master Skin. Now keep in mind, it takes a very long time to unlock the Master Skin, and you don't actually see a lot of people running around with them, as well as they actually have different skins that you can purchase for real money. So I think it would be interesting if they were to do something similar in Black Ops 3. So what if we were to put in a certain amount of playtime with our different specialists, and by doing so, like, let's say you play 100 games or something with the Reaper, you unlock the Black Reaper, where you have like a black and red skin or something instead of just your orange and black skin that you traditionally have. Or maybe if you get like a blue and green one, or maybe if you were to play a certain amount of time with them, you can unlock the Master Reaper, which again, this doesn't change anything, it just makes you look different. Cosmetically, you look different. Maybe they can go even more full on with it, and if you make it up to the Master Reaper, where basically you put in, I don't know, 1,000 games with the Reaper, or I don't know, 500 games with the Reaper, I'm not sure what these exact numbers would be, I'm just rolling with this as I go. I think it would be cool if they were to add in maybe new voice acting, maybe if they were to change around the voice a little bit, allow you to customize the voice in some respect. That could be pretty interesting, and even then, they could actually make it so we can purchase cosmetic skins if we would like to. Again, nothing that changes the character whatsoever, it just cosmetically changes the character to make it feel a little bit different, and it's not actually going to affect the overall balance of the character as a whole. I think that would be a pretty interesting thing. It's already something I think they have in store for us with Black Ops 3, if I'm being honest. I feel as though this is something they're already thinking about, because they have all these specialists right there. It'd be very, very simple for them to try and add in microtransactions that give you different skins, but also I think it would be cool if we were able to unlock skins, because of course we're buying a $60 game here. A lot of us are going to buy the season pass. We don't want to be nickel and dime for all different kinds of cosmetic DLC. It would be nice if we were actually able to unlock some of it as well. But again, I have no problem with cosmetic DLC, just also give us the option to try and earn some cosmetic stuff as well. I think that would be pretty cool. The third idea I have for the Call of Duty franchise is going to involve weapon camos. This is actually something I discussed in yesterday's episode of Dear Nero, and I also believe I've discussed it in a number of videos as well, but for the sake of completeness, I would like to touch on it here in this video as well. The idea is weapon camos, right? Which is something we've always had in the Call of Duty franchise. We've always had weapon camos, and recently we started getting DLC camos as well, where for $1.99 you get this really cool flashy looking camo. That's an interesting idea, but the idea I have is to borrow something from the Book of Hearthstone, right? So Hearthstone is a card game by Blizzard, and you're noticing a lot of trends here because I'm starting to play a lot of Blizzard games as of late, but Hearthstone is a card game, and what they do is they have different seasons, and basically seasons are months. Basically at the end of the month, the season resets and it goes on to a new season. If you make it up to rank 20 in a particular season, you unlock the card back for that season. So for example, there's going to be a September card back for 2015. If you get up to rank 20 in September of 2015, you unlock this special card back. Once September is over, that card back disappears and it's no longer able to be earned. So it's kind of cool that you're earning these things in the game that can no longer be obtained for people that didn't earn it when it was available. So I have card backs from like October of last year, which is pretty cool that nobody can get this card back ever again. The card back itself is over a year old, and it's only going to become more and more rare as the game gets older. I think that's really kind of a neat thing, and I would like for them to do that in the Call of Duty franchise as well. Just do it with playtime and make it simple, just like Hearthstone. Just give people the incentive to actually sign into their Xbox or their PlayStation or their PC or what have you and actually play for a little bit. Let's say, for example, if you put in 10 hours of playtime into Black Ops 3 in November, you unlock the special November camo for doing that, and at the end of November, that camo basically disappears. Nobody can be able to earn it ever again, and those that did earn it, they have it, and those that didn't earn it, they'll never be able to get it. Then you just have that special camo right there for the people that actually put in their playtime in November, and do that every single month. I think that would be a really cool thing, adding in a bunch of new camos that are free. All you have to do is actually play the game to actually earn them, and I think that would be pretty cool overall for the Call of Duty franchise. The fourth idea I have for the Call of Duty franchise is going to revolve around the Gunsmith. Now, I'm kind of hesitant to call this an idea, as I don't really have too much to say on it because we don't know too much about it. What we do know about the Gunsmith is it's going to be weapon customization in Call of Duty unlike anything we've ever seen before. We saw a brief glimpse of it at the end of the Black Ops 3 multiplayer reveal trailer, which will allow us to see that we can have multiple different kinds of grips, multiple different kinds of barrels, multiple different kinds of stocks, which are just going to be cosmetic changes to your weapon and in no way will actually affect the overall weapon itself. So if you want to have a foregrip on your weapon, you of course get the benefit of the foregrip, but then you'll have like 3 or 4 different kinds of foregrips to actually choose from. I'm interested to see what they're going to be doing with this, because there's a lot they can do with it with the idea of themed packs. Now, going back to, here's the storm here, here's an example. We'll show you Tyrael. Tyrael is an angel from the Diablo series, and you can get skins for him, right? You can get the demonic Tyrael, which is a real contrast there. He's supposed to be an angel, but here you are with the demonic version of him, right? What if they were to have like a demonic pack or something like that you could actually get for your Gunsmith? That would be pretty interesting. Similar to stuff that we've seen in the Call of Duty franchise before, with all the different weapon packs that actually come out. Like, for example, with Advanced Warfare, like you get the X-Ray pack, where you basically have like an X-Ray camo. What if there was an X-Ray set of foregrips and stocks and all the stuff that you can actually have for your weapon as well? I'd definitely be interested to see what they're going to be doing with that. But yes, there's a lot that we're going to be able to see with the Gunsmith. I'm just interested to learn a little bit more about it, because of course they locked us out of it during the Black Ops 3 beta, and we're gonna have to wait for the full release of Black Ops 3 to actually be able to mess around with that. But there's definitely a lot that they can actually do with the Gunsmith, and I think the idea of having different kinds of themes and different kinds of shaped packs and stuff like that, it could be pretty cool. Like, have a foregrip that's very, very unique that you can actually unlock by doing a challenge, or maybe you have to purchase it. We'll definitely have to see, but there's going to be a lot to do with the Gunsmith when it actually makes its full release in November. The fifth idea I would like to discuss for the Call of Duty franchise would be Zombies mode, right? How can we make Zombies mode a little bit better? And how can we get it so people actually want to play Zombies a little bit more? They took steps to actually increase the longevity of Zombies with Black Ops 3. We learned that there is going to be a progression system in place, which is going to allow people that like to play Zombies a lot to have a sense of progression, for them to unlock new things and for them to level up, and it's going to be interesting. We don't know exactly what that's going to entail, right? We didn't get to play with Zombies at all during the beta, but we do know that with Zombies mode, we are going to be able to unlock things and have challenges and level up and stuff like that in Black Ops 3. The idea I have is pretty simple. It's pretty similar to the vintage weapon idea. Basically, have us be able to unlock older maps via challenges. How cool would that be? It wouldn't be a ton of work for the developers, right? You basically just copy and paste the map in. So, for example, what if you were to get to round 30 on the Derice remake? Because we do know they're going to be remaking Derice from World at War into Black Ops 3 Zombies, and that's going to be really cool. What if you were to make it to round 30 on that map, either playing in a group or solo, whatever, and if you were to do that, you unlock a remake of Shinonuma. Now, it doesn't need to be like a full remaster or anything like that, like what they're doing with Derice. Just basically copy and paste it into the game, similar to what we saw in Black Ops 1, right? In Black Ops 1, they basically gave us an entire Zombies pack where they took all these zombie maps from World at War and they put it into that game as well. They were just essentially copy and paste. There's nothing changed about them. They just basically put them in the game as part of a zombie DLC. What if they were to do that, bring back Shinonuma, and maybe add a Pack-a-Punch, because that map doesn't have Pack-a-Punch, and you can unlock that by getting the round 30 while playing on Derice. I think that'd be pretty interesting, and it can be any map, really. I mean, I just picked Shinonuma because I think it'd be easy for them to put in the game, because it's a very, very old Zombies map, and it's also my favorite Zombies map of all time. But whatever Zombies map you would like to see, like, what if they were to do that? What if you were to make it up to round 30 on one of the zombie maps that come out in Black Ops 3, if you were to unlock an older Zombies map for doing so? And maybe if you were to make it to round 30 on that one, you can unlock a different map, and you kind of give you like this big progression system. I think that would be an interesting idea, and I don't think it would honestly be too much work for the developers, because a lot of these maps are basically just going to be copy and paste from previous games. I think they don't even need to change anything. You know, one of the big challenges I think would be if you were to put Shinonuma into a game like Black Ops 3, how would they do the weapons? Because they'd have to bring in all the weapons from World at War that were on the wall. You could just change all those to make them Black Ops 3 weapons that are on the wall. Like, I don't think it would really be too difficult for them to do. It's just getting to the point where, is there enough room on your console to try and fit all of these things? Like, if we're going to be adding in so many weapon camos and so many guns and so many maps and stuff, will there actually be room for this kind of stuff? We'll definitely have to see. But yeah, I think it would be pretty interesting if they were to do that with Zombies. The sixth idea I have here in this video is actually brought to my attention by a subscriber in an episode of Dear Nero, which is something I've never really thought about because I'm not really this player, but knifing. Knives in the Call of Duty franchise. How neat would it be if you were actually able to unlock different kinds of knives based on how many melee kills you have in Black Ops 3? The knife-only community has very little in the form of customization. They've had very little for years now. Of course, in Black Ops 3 with the paint shop mode, they're actually able to customize their knives and actually put their own skins on it, which is cool. I definitely think that's a step in the right direction. But wouldn't it be interesting if the people that like to run around in melee only, which there is a thriving knife-only community in Call of Duty, what if, you know, for getting a number of kills with their knives, they were actually able to unlock a different kind of a knife, similar to what we see in Counter-Strike, right? Where basically you have a chance to unlock different kinds of knives that you can run around with. I think people people would like that. I think people that aren't even knife-only players would like that. Like, I would probably run around knifing if I could get, like, a really cool melee weapon as a knife. Like, maybe you were able to unlock, like, a machete or something like that, which wouldn't increase your range or anything, but basically just give you a different melee weapon to run around with. Because I think one of the things, again, for knife-only players is, aesthetically, it's a very boring way to play because you're constantly running around looking at the exact same thing over and over again. Like, sometimes people would, like, swap to a different pistol just so they have a different pistol to look at with their tactical knife. Like, that's something the knife-only communities had to do for a number of years now because there's very little aesthetically for them to do. Of course, once again, we do have knives that you can run around with in Black Ops 3 and you can change the skin, but I think it would be cool if you could progressively unlock different models of knives based upon how many melee kills you actually get. And again, that's something that could extend the longevity of Black Ops 3 by giving knife-only players a reason to continue to run around and play. And the seventh and final idea I have for you guys here in this video is going to be prestiging. Now, we did learn there's going to be 10 prestiges in Black Ops 3, but there's going to be something special. What could that something special be? You guys may be wondering to yourselves. The idea initially for a lot of people is it's going to be another Master Prestige, but maybe they're going to change it in one way or another. How could they change Master Prestige? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have an idea for you. What if Master Prestige were actually to go up and down based upon your performance in game? Now, we have seen this in some other video games, especially going back to some of the older Battlefield games. I remember hearing about this as well, where basically if you make it to Master Prestige in Black Ops 3, you have everything unlocked. Similar to Black Ops 2, you have everything unlocked, all the weapons are available to you, all the perks are available to you. That would be pretty nice, right? But also, your rank will go up and down based upon how well you are doing in the multiplayer. Similar to kind of like what you see like in League play or ranked play, but for just regular old public matches. So basically, there's going to be like Prestige Master rank 1 all the way up to Prestige Master rank 50, and your rank will go up or down, you know, 1 being the lowest and 50 being the highest, based upon how well you do. Now, how they want to do this, I really can't say. It's just an idea that I had, and you guys can do with it what you will, but maybe if you could go something along with your score per minute, but score per minute's kind of tricky because you never really know because game modes are different. Search and Destroy, your score per minute's going to be terrible. Ground War Domination, your score per minute's going to be through the roof. So I don't know exactly how they would do that, but I think it'd be pretty interesting to kind of rank people a little bit with their Master Prestige. Like, basically, if you see a Master Prestige rank 50, that guy is ridiculously good, right? And it would kind of give some prestige to prestiging because, of course, in the Call of Duty franchise, if you see somebody that's max rank in the game, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be a great player. It just means that they probably play the game a lot. But if you see somebody that's Master Prestige rank 30 or higher, chances are they're going to be a very good player that's going to be a big asset to your team. It's just an idea I have. Some people may not like it because it's going to basically, your end game, you're always going to feel like you're constantly being rated and measured and judged for your play, which I don't think people would really dig too much, but it's just an idea I have. They're definitely going to be doing something cool with the end of the Prestige, the end game of Black Ops 3, as was hinted by David Vonderhaart. I'm definitely interested to see what that could be, but that's just an idea I came up with today, is the idea that maybe you could have a rank that goes up and down once you hit Master Prestige. And again, there's like no way for you to actually like go away from Master Prestige, right? You're not going to get like de-ranked back to 10th Prestige or something like that. But if they were to add something where your rank would go up and down based upon your performance in game, it would be nice if you could like turn that off or something like that, where you could just go back to 10th Prestige and just hang out there for a bit so you're not constantly feeling like you're being judged and measured. Like, that could be like a feature they could have as part of the end game, where you could like enable it or disable it whenever you feel like, and see yourself actually being judged, and maybe give you different rewards for actually making up to a certain Master Prestige rank. I don't know. These are just ideas I come up with, but that's the whole point of this video, I suppose, is to give different ideas I've thought of for the Call of Duty franchise and see what you guys think about them, and whether or not you'd actually like to see some of this stuff actually be implemented into the Call of Duty franchise. And of course, I'm sure a lot of you guys were expecting me to talk about my random time of the day and random weather generator idea, but I've made enough videos talking about that, to be perfectly honest. I mean, the idea that every time you load into a match, you could actually have a 25% chance for the map to be daytime, a 25% chance for it to be nighttime, a 25% chance to be sunrise, 25% chance for it to be sunset, and constantly making it so every map feels different in terms of the time of day as well as the weather, right? Every time you load in, have a 25% chance for snow, rain, sunny, or maybe foggy or something like that. Like, that would just be a really cool idea, and I have a number of videos for that, and I have it here on your screen where you can click these annotations and it'll take you over to some of those videos. That would be a really cool idea, but again, I think I've discussed it nearly enough, and I've been discussing it for years now, and they are obviously not too keen on actually implementing it into the Call of Duty series. These are ideas I have that I think could actually increase the longevity of the Call of Duty life cycle and make it so it's a bit more interesting to play throughout the year as compared to just the first few months of the game actually being out, because I'm sure you guys guys have experienced it as well. After the first few months of the new Call of Duty game being out, the game kind of seems a little bit duller, especially when you compare it to when it was first released. And these are things that could be added to the game that would make it so it's a bit more interesting to play over a long period of time as compared to just the first couple weeks or first couple months of the game actually being out. So let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about some of these ideas. I'm definitely interested to read your guys' feedback. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Remember to leave a rating. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.